Hey, I haven't previewed this game. I mostly don't know what I'm talking about, but I would like to explain that today we're not playing Gamber Gomon 2, Kitaretsu Shogun Maganezu. We're not playing Umehara Kawazi, and we're not playing Hagan, the final conflict. Even though all those games are better than StarCraft, we're playing some game of Total Annihilation that I have not previewed, between Postal and Stagma Jr., who is, I think he's an OG Total Annihilation player, but I haven't, I don't know what his new Smurf name is. He's probably someone that we should know. And we're still playing the Protestant version of Total Annihilation, because that's what all the games seem to be coming out on now. We have a new version of Escape. The word in the street is that they've released a new balance patch 2 days before tournament starts, which is quintessential noob mob behavior. If you keep everyone off balance, no one can debate the fact that the game is broken. And this is why OTA is best. I'm not trying to hold ProTA over Escape. I'm saying all mods are trash. That's my default stance on all of this. Is that like players shouldn't be allowed to mess with the code. I mean, I think Chris Taylor has better understanding of balance than any of these noobs. I think you should have to I stick with the strategy guide thing. When I have got wreckage in my way, I nuke it. That's my policy. And I think they should nuke all of these noob third-party mods also. Let's get back to the core Catholic sensible version of Total Annihilation is my stance. Suppose we'll send out a couple of rats. What are they called? Called something like that. If I could fucking catch the fucker. Send out a couple of scout units. Meanwhile, Stagma is gone. K-Bot first. They're all chasing after sugar because this is a dystopian future version of America where everyone is addicted to sugar. Yeah, this map is kind of ugly, but is it called Dark Comet? I think it is, which doesn't make a lot of sense because it's even lighter than regular Comet. But it is what it is. It's like his Pee-wees went up in an odd position where they didn't fucking raid anything, even though they're sitting right next to it. Postal's still in the sugar rush. I can't remember if I watched this before. I don't think there's any point in speeding it up really beyond where we are now. Yeah, Weasels are doing a little bit better because Weasels, now we're going to see him do a little endless DT wall. Will he hold off the Weasels? He doesn't quite, but I've been seeing the contemporary players do this. They'll just, build walls like crazy, and it's amusing how long they can last. Maybe versus one unit rather than two. I've watched quite a few demos lately, and you know, you tend to zero in on the longer demos because you think they're a bit more entertaining, but most of them are cool, like just building an endless amount of wins. So that's why I'm glad to watch a fucking moon map, because as much as I like watching people overbuild wins, it can turn into some very, very long and non-aggressive matches which aren't very entertaining from a casting point of view. When picking out games to watch, you know, you're looking for those very, very close matches where it swings back and forth, but they don't happen that much. Most of the time they either end very quickly or they turn into a fucking pork fest, which also isn't interesting. It just takes 10 times longer. Postal is coming in with a nice chunky little force of instigators, which could do work. He sees them effectively. Ugh. Not running straight at the main base, but Stagma is also very well prepared. He's doing a little bit of radar targeting, so I don't think they're going anywhere. Yeah, I say this match I don't think is terrifically long. I thought I'd watch this match, but I hadn't. Yeah, I was pretty sure I had, but I think I watched another Dark Comet match. Is it Dark Comet? I don't know. What's in my downloads to show my entire drive to you guys. Oh no, wait, it's Lunar Rush it's called. Yeah. That's why. Dark Comet would be a lot darker than this. Plus it's not a big vertical map like this. So this is Lunar Rush. People seem to be playing a lot of variations on this kind of tall, narrow map. Excuse me, I'm taking a slug, a big cup of tea. Also going fairly heavy on the instigators. Starting going for Samsons. How many? Well, let's compare the factories. 1, 2, 3. One more? Is that 4? I'm not sure. 1, 2, 3. No, he's got 3. Good radar coverage, but not a lot else going on. Samson's trying to sneak down the side there. So we've got 3, 4, 1, 2. 2 factories. But on the other hand, Stagma does seem to be expanding a little bit better. It'll just be a matter of whether these stumpies are more effective. Stumpies are pretty good in this mod, from what I've seen. ProTA has so far been relatively subtle enough that it's quite difficult to say where things are landing. if I were watching a Spring Commander cast now, they'd be like trying to compare numbers of units. So do this and then you go how many units. But knocked over my mic. That's because they have an actual UI in that game, and they have like a specific replayer UI that the casters use, where they're like monitoring each other's resources and fucking incomes and what they're reclaiming and everything, and they know how many tanks are in an army. I can't bring that level of analysis to a match. But it seems like Postal has numbers. All I could do is compare the fucking factory numbers. So he's got 3. He's still got 3. And he's going T2. And Stagma has 3. He's going air. Has he got any other plant? He does. Nope. No one's doing forward plants. So I feel like Postal has had numbers for a little while now. They're even Stevens, and considering that both of them are stalling, although Postal has more metal. I don't know why that is, because he's got metal makers. Not much point if we're running purely on solar, but it seemed like he had more map control till fairly recently. And he has a good solid 10 more mass. I guess Stagma just hasn't really filled out his expansion properly. Push up the side here. Instigators are kind of dangerous when you get numbers. Because they're pretty tanky. Because the role is kind of tough, but they were kind of useless. But now they're tough and they're a bit more functional. So it takes quite a while to kill them. Where's my commander? Cloaked. I was going to cloak him. Yeah, he's fire. Shouldn't be cloaked. Right. Yeah, that looks like close to the end for Stagma. Instigators have, if not beaten him, they've kind of psychologically battered him around the back base. And the front base is kind of crumbling as well. If your double missile tower forest is just crumbling, then psychologically you're done. Even though they may be fairly cheap units. GG is thrown out. Yeah, he's got nothing left really. So maybe something of a non-match, but I think it's kind of reflective of the way the game is played. So you know, might have been some learning value in there. You need to start coming for me for drama. You know, I know you're hoping that I'll throw up a mic or just like pass out or you know, die on YouTube, but I just can't go that hard all the time. Sometimes we've got to relax with a little bit more of a a contemplative replay. So I hope you've all learned something. Mostly that Total Annihilation is better than StarCraft and StarCraft 2, and generally, like, Cave Dog people are better than Blizzard people, because we know Blizzard people are probably the worst people. I haven't got access to all their logs, but I think if you hacked a Cave Dog employee, the worst thing you would find out is that they were they were kind of junkies for the coffee wagon. They mostly did no work in the morning.